Hello viewers, you are welcome back to Time with Vero. Today we happen to be at the Starsdale and we are going to interview two of our tops here, and it's all about Vaderschap, that is fatherhood. As you know, KAMP TV has been very busy with this subject. We've had a drama on it on the television. We've had a lot of interviews, and today we have the privilege to meet Mr. Eddy and also the director Rob Tehat as our role models to talk about the role of a father in the life of a child. Stay tuned. Hello viewers, you are welcome back to KAMP Television, and we're on the show Time with Vero. And as you know, KAMP TV has been very busy since the month of May on the subject Vaderschap, which is fatherhood, the role of a father in the life of a child. Today I have the privilege to meet a very wonderful man, the director, a very important man in the Starsdale Southeast, and I'm going to talk to him about the role of a father in the life of a child. Well, because it's my first time of talking to him, I will allow him to introduce himself to you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. You're
Yes.
welcome to KAMP Television.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you can just tell us a bit about yourself.
Yes. Okay. I'm 62, so I'm an elder
Awesome.
man. And I'm married, and my wife is also 62. And we are living in Wees. It's a near little town from here to the south. And we lived there 4 years. But the time before, we lived 35 years in Diemen. So that's the other side.
Yeah.
So I know Southeast very well, because all my life I live nearby Amsterdam Southeast. So I have seen the Bijlmer from the beginning and the transformation to what it is now. So, and it is a very beautiful part of Amsterdam. I guess the most beautiful part of Amsterdam, Southeast. Because you can live there very well, you can work there, and there's many pleasure. Arena, Heineken Music Hall, Ziggo Dome. So there's a lot of fun. You have two beautiful parks, and every day I'm cycling from my work here to the Bijlmer Park, and then the Gaasper Park, and then to Wees. So I'm every day enjoying of the nature.
That's why you are so fit.
Yes, I'm very fit. And last month the Stadsdale had the healthy month.
Yeah.
And now this month is the Vaderschap month.
Yeah.
Yes. So now I can both combine.
Yeah, that would be very good.
Yeah.
But your lifestyle is even healthy.
Yes.
And so you are a very good role model to talk to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice to hear.
I know you are the director. Can
Yes.
you tell us a bit about your work here at the Starsdale?
Yes, I'm working here for 4 years, and my job is managing 5 other managers, and we have a very diverse objection, so task you can also call that. So it is physical, so when you look outside, you see many projects. Hoekenrodeplein is now nearly ready. So it's opening in June, we have done it, but also the overkruising of the A9 is a project, and everything who has happened in outside in the physical surrounding, we realize that. But we also do about social questions. So you know the problems. You know the problems in Southeast with children, with one issue questions. Now, yeah, so you can many questions, education. It's a range of questions. We also realize that.
Okay.
So we do a lot of things.
Yeah, I can see that.
And it's a pleasure to work for Southeast because the diversity of the people who are living here is so beautiful. And you know the Kwaku Summer Festival?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm responsible from this stadsdeel to organize that. Dus we don't organize it, but we give permittance, license at an organizations, and every year. And next year it was very good organized, and so this year we have the same opportunity.
Yeah, thank you very much, because
it's 5 weeks.
5 weeks, and I'm
July.
so happy. And you know, we have the Kente Festival.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know about it.
Yeah.
It has been going on for 7 years now.
Okay.
And this year we are bringing it to the Kwaku Festival.
Perfect.
Yeah, to the big podium.
Yes.
And I'm very, very happy.
So I meet you there.
Sure.
So that's also what we are doing here. Yes, many things.
Oh, that's
yes, you have an image of what I'm doing?
Yeah.
And they're working more than 100 people in my direction as the different tasks. So, we all busy together, we have busy. Yeah. And we have the daily government here, you know, Muriel Dalkelis, Erwin Viens, and Emil Jens. So we are supporting them.
Well, viewers, Mr. Eddy just joined us. We've been talking to Rob already, the director. He told me his boss. And as you know, he was giving credit to Eddy, but Eddy is always giving the credit back to him. Eddy, you are welcome to KAMP Television.
Thank you.
We've been talking to Rob already about his role here in Starzell, and also he has just told us a bit about himself, how healthy he's living, and how handsome he is at the age of 62.
Yes, remember, that's very good.
Yeah. Most of the time on our television, you've been a role model to the society. We know the good work that you are doing. Thank you. But we know there has been changes here at the Starzell, and so I'll give you this opportunity to let the viewers know what your position is at the moment, or is it something changed, or is it still the same?
Now, the word same is now disappearing if you live in Holland. There's nothing like the same. The only thing that is constant in Holland is change. So things are changing all the time. The Dutch people believe in developing, and when it comes to change, they think about improvement all the time. So they always look ahead to look at what are we doing now, what can we do tomorrow. So they don't wait till the time comes before they do take action. They always think ahead. And now what the Dutch people are saying is that now we have to look at the way we work, and the way we work that can better help the people, bring the people together, for the people, the society, and the government to work together, is working using the areas where they live as a model to work. They call it gebied aanpak. That is an area approach. So in Amsterdam, in the whole of Amsterdam, we have got 22 areas. So the 22 areas, they have different identities. So based on these identities, that's where they are going to work. And we have to not only sit at the office and then decide things for them, for the people. No, we have to go to the people, get information from them, agree with them, how they think we can help them, we can work together and help them better. That is the new approach now.
Okay.
So the 22 people areas in Amsterdam Southeast, in Amsterdam, 4 of them are in Southeast. And we have to get 22 managers or project leaders to run Amsterdam with this new approach. And Rob came to me about 7 weeks ago, and do you want to be one of them?
Okay.
I said, okay, let me think about it. And a day later, I say, no, I will think about it. Sorry, I'll do it.
Okay.
So now I am one of the 22 managers up to January. So we have time to look at how are we going about it. And as to if he likes it and I like it, then I apply, then I stay there. But I'm still combining it with my current job.
Okay.
And I'm now the head of Department of Housing, Care and Welfare, including the diversity, participation, bringing up children, culture, so many things.
So you're very busy now.
But I get full support from
More
him.
than busy.
Yeah.
Okay.
More than busy, yes.
Extremely busy. Look at where my brain is.
Almost,
Yeah.
almost too busy.
Almost too busy.
Yes.
Call me to assist you.
But
when
he
you
is
need
always
it.
laughing, so it's
Yeah,
coming
that's
very well.
Eddy, you know.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay. So
If there's something wrong, then I call him. Hey, Rob, I need you. And it's solved, then I go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much for clearing this for me. I want us to move to our subject for today about Vaderschap, the role of a father in the life,
it's very important.
fatherhood. Yeah.
Yes.
When we say fatherhood, what comes into your mind?
Care, to take care of, so, but also to accompany, no, how shall I say it? I want that my children are growing up in a good way. So I'm enjoying with my children, and now they are older. So they live outside my town of place, but when they are young, now we mostly, my wife and I are caring about them. So that's a very important role, and it's also important that you are a good communication with your children, and that you are caring about enjoying your children. So we are doing a lot of things, not only at school, but also they play tennis or another kind of sport, or they are making music, or they are enjoying to do things with their friends, and now all kind of things we support that.
So getting more involved
Yes.
in their everyday life
Yes.
and also caring.
Yes. It's in
Okay.
good times and in bad times, you say.
Yeah,
Yes.
in
And
good
I
times,
always
yeah.
said little children, little problems. When they are older, then you have big problems. Sometimes, not every day, but sometimes. Just, when they are out of your control.
Yeah.
So my son is 37, and my daughter is 34. Dus they are out of control of us.
Yeah.
But sometimes they make a visit, or they call us, and then you hear about the problems they have, and then you are listening and give good advice, and sometimes she follows it up, and sometimes you think, okay, no. So it's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you want to throw some light on that also?
Now, what I understand about fatherhood is, one, you should always be there when they need you. The moment the children have the feeling that when they need you, you are there, you give them psychological strength. That's one. Two, you must let them know that you love them, they should be loved. And three, you must be able to identify their talents and make sure that you develop them, so that socio-economic, because today they are children, tomorrow they'll be adults. So being the right adult in future, well, it depends upon how you deal with them from the scratch. So it's not only about showing them love and giving them food and money, but also monitoring them and see who they are, what they can be in future. These are the elements that I see as a real good father, because if you don't do to them, the mistake you make, especially the sons, they also make the same mistake when they marry and when they give children. So the training you give to them has got influence on the way they'll behave in future.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's also important to learn to take responsibility.
Yeah.
Yes.
As a
So you
father.
give them also responsibility, and father and mother are also responsible for what they are doing. But at certain times, and when they are old enough, you let them fly, and you hope that they have learned so much responsibility that they are going their own way. And not only education, but also the social aspects. Dus, it's important that children are learning things, it's growing. So they are, and some children are more clever than the other. So that's not the problem. Just they had to enjoy and do the things in the job they prefer. But besides that, it's also important that they make contact with other people. They make friends, and it's also a responsibility from the parents and the father, especially, that you learn how you make contact with other people, and learn that there are more diversity in the world than only where are you coming from.
And the fear is also outside,
yes.
The contact with friends. How does a father control the kind of friends that your children will go out with? For that,
yes, that is important, and it's also difficult to control that. But you can invite the friends at your home, so you can see what kind of friends your children have. So sometimes it's also important that you pick up your children at school when they have a party. So you can also see in the surrounding what kind of friends children have. Dus there are certain ways to make control, but there's also balance between the control and what I say is that you don't have to do too much control, because you push up the children from you. So sometimes you had to control, but let it go at the other time. So
give them chance to make their own mistakes.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, and I always said that children had to make mistakes so they can learn. It's better to fall down, and then you learn to stand up.
Rob, if I may ask, did you grow up with a father figure in your life? Yeah.
Yes, but the problem was my father was 51 years and he died. He was always sick. So I have another childhood than my children. I was always healthy, and when I was 25, my son is born, the eldest one, and then before that, a half year before that, my father was died. So my children never know my father, only from stories telling and that sort of kind of thing, and photos. But they don't met my father. So I had another childhood. Most of my time I lived with my mother and my two sisters.
Okay.
So.
Did your father, in your case, he passed away.
Yeah.
So like you didn't have a choice. But Eddy, I would like to move on to you. I know you also grew up without a father. Can you throw some light on your story for us?
No, I didn't see my father when I was born till 28 years ago. I saw him for 15 minutes. I traced him everywhere he was. My mother never bothered to tell me anything about him. As at now, I don't know why, and she is not prepared to talk about him to me, actually. If he's standing here today, I will not be able to identify that it is my father. I've been told 3 times that he's dead. Later we hear, no, he's not, he's alive. Oh, later you hear he's dead. So I don't know which one to believe it. We believe it, actually. And it still affects me that's why we have this project. It still affects me emotionally. I can't understand why, like I said, I don't have a father. I don't know my father. It is emotionally painful, especially when I was young, when we were asked to fill some forms. And you know, when you're in the primary school, they always give you some forms, your father's name, your mother's name, your name, everything. When I reach the stage, father's name, I don't know what to feel, because who's my father? And should I fill in my stepfather's name, and in future when they divorce again, and I have a new stepfather, then I fill the person's name again? It was for me very difficult, actually. So as of now, it has got influence on me, whereby I don't like filling forms. It's purely because of that. But my mother was economically okay, so and she was very, very dominant. So she controlled me. She just gave me the upbringing like of my mom in the house. But I still felt it, and I still feel it. Because, despite all that she gave me, I still feel like I don't have a father. And that is something we must try to prevent. And my father never got in touch with me, and my mother never allowed me to be in touch with my father. This is totally wrong.
Yeah. And I can tell you about it because I'm coaching in my free time. I have not so much free time, and I follow an education and course about family systems, and it's very important for children to know who is your father and your mother, because when you don't know that, it's not always so, but it's predictable that you are getting problems at later age. So you have see that with your own eyes, and the family system is education. And so I'm doing that in practice. Okay. So it's very important to know, and I'm confirm what Eddy are saying. It's very important the role of the father and mother, and to prevent that that role is that you feeling that very well. So my father is dying when I was 21, but I've learning him, and he's good care of us, and my mother too, and he's always working for us. Only he was sick at the moment, and he's dying. But I know him for 21 years.
Yeah.
And I always say it's the parents is also a form of the family systems. Parents have to give more at their children, the children give at their parents. Yeah. So, and you see in practice that children are taking the role of their father and a mother, and that's not good. Yeah. That's not good. You have to take the children your own role, and when you take the children the role of one of the elders, of the parents, you get always problems. So different kind of problems. So it's very good that we prevent that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I say this so touching than I expected. The 21 years that you spent with your father.
Yes.
You do have a very good relationship with him.
Sometimes, but my father was often sick, often ill.
Okay.
So then the relation is less. So, but always, as well as my mother and father are caring for us. So when we needed something, we are getting it.
Yeah.
Yes. So yes.
Does that have any?
Dus what Eddy are saying, I confirm that for my parents and for myself. When I have questions or when I have problems of other kind of things, they are there.
Yeah.
But in that time, when I'm growing up, to show the affections from parents to children, it was not done. So nowadays, and my education at my children are different.
Okay.
Yes. So that's also nowadays. Yeah.
And did you blame your mother from keeping your father away from you?
Now it is not easy for me to say yes. I blame her. She knows the reason why. She knows the pain she went through. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And no no mother would deliberately deny the son or the daughter of seeing the father. So there's a reason that I don't know. So I don't really, I feel the pain, but she doesn't feel that pain that I'm feeling now.
Yeah.
She will say, this is my son, you will never see him again.
Yeah.
So there was a reason that I don't know. So really, I can't say I blame her even though I feel bad about that.
So, up till now, and your mom is still alive?
She's still alive, very young, 67 years.
And she's still not ready to tell you why?
No.
But you are okay with it for now?
No, she will say if you want to chase him, do that. But you see that now, she is not happy
with it.
With that. So, and I don't want to hurt her because the way she brought me up, perfect way, she gave me everything that I needed. So I just want on to do what she doesn't want.
Because, you know, most of the time when mothers get hurt, you know, they think the man is not good enough even to have a relationship with the child. But what I know is that maybe the person is not a good lover or a good partner, but he may be a good father.
Indeed, yes.
You
that's
and this something.
Very good point. Yes.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
So
that's
Yeah.
you must separate that.
We have to separate.
And that's difficult for people.
Yeah.
And that's so personal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, and most mothers have the good reason.
Yeah.
The way you behaved,
Yeah.
I think you'll be a bad influence.
No.
But you never know.
No.
Give the father a chance. Eddy, I know we don't have much time with your schedule, but what advice do you have to give to especially mothers who are so hurt that they are trying to keep fathers from having relationship with their kids?
When you do that as a mother, you are satisfying yourself at the cost of your children. Any mother who is hurt and throw away the husband or the man and say you will never see my daughter or my son again, you have made yourself okay for throwing the man away, for the man not seeing your child. But the child is suffering. The child cannot maybe tell you, but it's in him. I'm 50 years now, I still feel pain. I feel very bad when I talk about this subject. Where is my father? And we are the same. Sometimes the father is available, but the father doesn't contribute because the mother, you don't want that. Sometimes it's not the mothers, sometimes it's the men who go away. Sometimes the men want to punish the woman for the relationship that's not going on well. So punishing the woman, they will say, all costs should be yours. I will not take care of you. You are also not punishing the woman. You are punishing your own child. And one day, the child will grow and say, I don't need you anymore.
And I think this is also one of the causes of poverty in the community now. Because sometimes, you know, we are not giving the father the chance to do what he has to do. But at the end of the day, whatever you do, the child, as you said, he doesn't care what happened. He doesn't care how bad the father is. You will work around the clock to do everything you can. You know, having debt and everything, just to prove to the man that you can take care of your child. You know, by the end of the day, you can't do it all. Maybe you can do it financially, but emotionally, as he said, that hole, you know, need to be filled. Eddy, you turned out to be okay, despite, because you say your mother did very well bringing you up. But it's not everybody who had this chance. You know, most of the kids, most of the broken homes and not having father figures in their lives are causing a lot of problems on our youth. So, I mean, if we take 10, maybe you can have just about 2 who were lucky to be in the position that you are. What about those out there who are going through these emotional things and that it affects, and some are even in jail because of this? Because when you get frustrated and you can't handle it anymore and the child goes astray. Rob, I know you had your dad not long, but we have fathers also there, as Eddy said.
Yes.
They just want to punish the woman.
Yeah.
Because they are also hurt, or the woman is now with somebody else. What do you have to say to fathers who neglect their kids?
Yes, but it's important that you speak from your heart. So what I'm saying is coming from my heart. So don't let it go. Try to make contact what kind of problems there are with the mother. So at a certain time, child is born from the mother and the father. So simple it is. So keep trying to make contact and to make understanding about the important role from the father. And sometimes father or mother are not able to make the contacts, so then the government, and I guess that Eddy is mentioned that to prevent that. So you can also educate of support that there is contact between the father and the mother, and you can organize projects of that kind of things. But essentially, it's beginning with the father and the mother, and so I'm convinced that that's is a role to care about it, that they make contacts, and it's not easy because it's more of the times it's emotionally. So you can speak with your heads, but most problems questions are not from the head but from the heart. So it's important that you come in the heart, and from there out you can make steps. It's not easy, but I believe that you can make steps in this. Yeah.
Okay. And what about fathers who are also trying to reach out to the kids and the mothers are not allowing?
Then you can, it's important that other person in the surrounding, family or friends, who make the contact, who make it able, that in what ways you want that at certain times the father have contact with children. So you had to try and you had not give it up. Because Eddy is a good example of it. I'm telling you about my family systems who are coaching in it. I always, when I'm getting questions, it's always about the relation between father and mother, and to take position about that. Yeah.
Is there a place that maybe a father who is so willing to have contact and it's not allowed? Is there a place, I mean, is there a law, is there an organization to go to help this person to have contact with the child?
Yeah. There is on that, I don't know exactly which organization, but there is.
Okay.
You are allowed, and even it can even go to court, and the court will just tell you, agree with the mother, that you're supposed to see the child maybe once in a week or twice in a week. Okay. You have every right to see your child in a particular period. It's a government Dutch law.
Dutch law is according to that, yes. It's always possible that you take the justice or another organization to put your the problems and are I believe that every problem has got you can solve it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think we
Also you take little steps,
Mhm.
but between no contact and every day, every time contact, there is a range of. It's important that you make little steps, and some contacts are more than no contacts.
Yeah.
So that's why I believe in it.
And the child can also, or maybe it's not working, the child really want to and it's not can the child himself also look for help to have contact with the dad if the mother is not allowing? That the child also have the right to take that initiative to look for help, to look for the father?
There's an organization called Kinderbescherming.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is it's always there.
Yeah.
It's always there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because these are some of the information that I've been speaking to most of the youth. We've had interviews with the youth also from single homes, and they are saying, yeah, if my mom says I can't see my dad, who am I to just So I mean, we have to let all these informations out, because really they need their dad. We think they are okay, but they are not okay. Well, Eddy, what's your last advice to our viewers?
My advice is to both mothers and fathers that the child should be the center of affairs. Do not let your pain affect your child. Throwing away the husband because you are hurt, you are helping yourself but not helping the child. And come what may, is going to affect the child's development. It is likely to affect even academic development, because research has shown in this country that children who live in single homes, either they become poor or they perform poorly at school. It has been proved. If you are lucky and your child is doing well, don't say it is not true. Maybe you are 1 out of 100. But in general, these children are affected. School and their economic development and also social. So please let the child be the center of the affairs. Bury your pains, sacrifice, and put the child at stake. Allow the child to see the father. Fathers, please, if your woman hurts you, if your ex-wife hurts you, please don't transfer the pain to the child. At least phone the child, get contact. Contact can be you are going to visit the child at school, make an appointment with the teacher, to talk to the parent, the teacher, to find out how the child is doing. Maybe once in a while, Christmas holidays, New Year's, vacations, birthdays, please show your presence to the child. Let the child feel at home. The child will not blame you for leaving the mother, provided the child will feel that when I need my father, I'm there. That's what I initially said. One of the ingredients of being a good father is that you are there when the child needs you. So please make sure the child sees you, the child reaches you when you are there. That applies also there to the mother. So it is both the mother and the parents. Once again, it is important for the child to see you and to get love from you and to get protection from you. By so doing, maybe you are separated, but the child will have her or his social and economic development.
I shortly can confirm that, but for me it is children doesn't choose their elder. So it's the responsibility from the father and the mother to take care for their children. So it means that always the child, and Eddy also said it at other words, but children are always at the first place. So when you have problems with each other, or if you have problems with another, that's not the problem from the child. So prepare that and see that with your eyes, and see also that when you don't take the responsibility, that children are getting problems with that. and that's your responsibility to prevent that. So
Thank you.
I'm saying in short words actually the same as Eddie's. Yes. Okay.
Thank you. Well, viewers, this has been deep and very emotional for myself too. Eddy have shared, his story. It's not easy, but as a role model, he came out openly to share this with you. Let this be a lesson to all of us. As I said, maybe the man is not a good lover, but he may be a good father. Give him the chance. As we know, when elephants fight, it's the grass that suffers. So please, whatever it is, if it doesn't work out with you, don't let the child suffer. Thank you very much. This is a program on Vaderschap, the fatherhood, and we are bringing you more of this on KAMP television. Keep watching and stay tuned. I'm Veronica from the KAMP.